March 2025 is going to be a big month for games. To be frank, there are some big releases coming, and I have a feeling some of them are going to be pretty good ones. But you never know, some of it might be hype. Either way, hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanks, new games coming out in March 2025 we know everyone's going to be talking about. So we're coming in hot with number 10. We've got Tripline Interactive finally gifting us Killing Floor 3. And it is looking bloodier than ever. This one is set a little further in the timeline, in 2091. Killing Floor 3, it's a little more dystopian future. I mean, you could make the argument it's cyberpunk, but it's, I mean, a little more horrific cyberpunk. Still, you got a evil mega corporation in Horizon. They've created this army of bioengineered, grotesque, zombie-type things called Zeds, and you are a part of a rebel group called Nightfall. Your whole thing is wiping out the Zeds before they wipe out humanity. Pretty simple, but I mean, the plot isn't so much what you go to Killing Floor for. It's a 6-player co-op FPS, and the things that they are very much touting in this go are the new weapons, the upgraded AI of all your enemies, melee combat that's refined, and what they're calling the MEAT system. That's MEAT. They're saying detail in the dismemberment that you haven't imagined before. Yeah, they're saying the gore is more realistic than ever. I know we've heard that a million times in video games before, but honestly, the previous Killing Floors have always kind of gotten it in terms of what works and what doesn't, so I fully expect 3 to get it as well. Killing Floor 3 is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series on March 25th. And number 9, we've got 2 Point Museum, coming to us by the aptly named 2 Point Studios, published by Sega. So this is a little different than Killing Floor 3, no doubts. You are stepping into the shoes of a museum curator in this game. Not the most savage position of all time, at least certainly not that I am aware of. But you are going to be managing and building world-class exhibits. Yes, that's right, it's a sim, my friends. It's Sim Museum, Theme Museum, Museum Tycoon, etc. But yeah, you're going to be making like prehistoric displays with dinosaurs, stuff about early humans. There's even supernatural exhibits that you can make. Lots of really extensive customization options. You can construct partition walls, decorate stuff, create themes, lots of visitor experience stuff to tweak. You can also send your museum team on an expedition to, you know, do archaeology and unearth rare artifacts and stuff. Obviously, like, the idea is the same as most management/builder sim type things. You're balancing guest satisfaction, staff well-being, and you're doing maintenance as well as creating buzz, marketing, etc., etc. Honestly, I'm surprised there isn't more museum this type game. It seems like an obvious one, so I kind of expect it'll work out well. It seems like a scenario that's well suited for the genre, so I'm actually pretty interested in how it turns out. 2 Point Museum is landing on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series on March 4th. At number 8, we have WWE 2K25 coming to us from Visual Concepts, published by 2K Sports. You know, we could say 2K25 is aiming to deliver the most immersive wrestling experience yet. We could say that. It's got a roster of 300 superstars, it's got The Rock, it's got CM Punk, the return of intergender matches, new match types like underground bloodline rules. I mean, on the surface, that all sounds great. But the island. Basically, they're bringing in the whole NBA 2K open world hub with quests and challenges. And I mean, you know, I'd maybe be a little less skeptical of it if we hadn't already seen the NBA version and 2K just didn't have this history of really aggressive monetization. I think we all know that at this point, though. I mean, I'm not going to say that the actual action of the WWE franchise sucks. It's actually quite the opposite. I expect it to be good, but I don't know. That's kind of what you expect from it. The 2K games are kind of really good games that 2K seems unable to not screw up, because it's not like I dislike NBA 2K's play style or how they handle the actual gameplay. Same goes for WWE, but the gameplay, is it enough to outshine the pay-to-win crap that's probably going to be in this game? I don't know. That's really the question, isn't it? WWE 2K25 is coming to PC, the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and it's coming on March 14th, unless you got early access. So at number 7, we have Wreckfest 2, which comes to us from Bugbear Entertainment, published by THQ Nordic. It's a highly anticipated sequel to the original Demolition Derby racing game. Got the whole vehicular mayhem thing going. I like me a good Demolition Derby. When I was a kid, it was something I liked a whole lot to go to. That was back when they did those things. I don't know if they still do them. I haven't seen one in quite a while. But hey, I haven't seen a game other than the first Wreckfest in quite a while. So Wreckfest 2 is entering early access. It is introducing a completely overhauled physics engine with more realistic crashes, more intricate damage modeling, and a lot more modes. You obviously have Demolition Derby, but you have racing, you have multiplayer. There's apparently going to be up to 34 players in online matches. I like that. That's a lot of players. Lots of customization options as well in terms of the cars. Now, I'm not gonna mince words here. You got performance upgrades and you got aesthetic modifications. I will say that provides some potential microtransaction nonsense. However, I don't know that that's gonna be the case. We'll see. There are going to be additional features rolled out during early access, like a new career mode, vehicle challenges, tournaments, and mod support. I like that. Wreckfest 2 is coming to PC on early access on March 20th. You're going to have PS5 and Xbox Series launch sometime after the early access period. And number 6, we have Fragpunk, coming to us from Bad Guitar Studio, published by NetEase, a free-to-play, fast-paced 5v5 hero-based first-person shooter. You've never heard that before, but it does introduce a unique twist to the genre, so let's at least give it a chance. It's got this thing called shard cards, and I am doing everything I can not to say shark cards, although I will probably say shark cards because I think that it's funny. Anyway, the cards, they essentially allow a player to alter the rules of a round, which makes the gameplay very different round to round. And I actually think that's a good idea. You end up with different jump heights to modifications to how bullets work. There's environmental changes like flipping gravity upside down, flipping the world upside down, that kind of stuff. I like that. I think that's quite interesting. It allows for a dynamic match for sure. Got a 12-hero roster. They're all equipped with unique abilities. That's obviously kind of standard at this point with this type of game, but I like what they're doing to it. I hope that it works because honestly, we've got a lot of hero shooters, and to be frank, that could be unique enough to warrant another one. It also might not. Who knows? Each round is apparently 2.5 minutes, so you're going to see a lot of changes pretty quick during the course of a match. It's a good-looking game. It's not something I'm automatically going to get excited about. Kind of has to prove itself, but I think that it may have what it needs to do that. Fragpunk is launching March 6th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Moving on to number 5, we have Inzoi, which is coming to us from Inzoi Studio, published by Krafton. This is a life sim. You basically create and manage virtual lives with a open world environment. It's got some pretty serious realism. You get to customize your characters. They're known as Zois. You can modify what they look like extensively in terms of their actual look, what they're wearing, blah de blah. There's also robust building tools for homes and cities, and you got a whole lot of different things to do, activities such as careers and social interactions. What all this to say is that this is a highly realistic looking Sims. Like, it's kind of Sims to the nth power. That's what I'm looking at this as. And honestly, I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea of Sims to the nth power. I like The Sims. Sometimes The Sims feels a little limited or a little hokey. If they pull this off, I mean, that kind of solves that problem. Inzoi is set to launch in early access on PC via Steam on March 28th. It does have full releases planned for PS5 and Xbox Series later. I think it could be good. And number 4, we have the first Berserker Kazan. Coming to us from Neeple, published by Nexon, a hardcore action RPG set in the expansive universe of Dungeon and Fighter Online, which is a game that's been out a long time at this point. Massively multiplayer game. This is nothing like that. This is basically filling out the lore. You're Kazan, a once revered general to the Palos Empire, and after being falsely accused of treason, you're subjected to brutal torture. That pisses you off. You're not happy about that. So you decide to get revenge, and that's the game. Now we're looking at sort of Souls-like gameplay. I know people hate using that word all the time, but frankly it's a very popular subgenre, and that's what this looks like it borrows the most from. We have different weapons, we have unique abilities, we have upgrade paths, lots of abilities to really hone in on specific combat styles, and apparently there is a rich narrative, although I don't know exactly how rich it is. Obviously I have not played it. That's what they're saying. They're saying it's a rich narrative. I mean, they kind of have to say that. It's filling out the lore of the Dungeon and Fighter universe, so it better be. But even if it's not, I mean, the game looks pretty sweet one way or the other, doesn't it? First Berserker Kazan is launched on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series on March 27th. There is a demo available. I've given it a little whack. I don't know enough about what's going on, but the gameplay feels tight, and I'm willing to bet this is going to be a good one, guys. And at number 3, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yep, we are coming in on the big ones. Ubisoft, oh man, do they have a lot to prove with this. I mean, obviously, there's the whole Ubisoft saga that we all are well aware of at this point. They are not in the calmest, nicest of waters, let's say. And yes, I am alluding to Skull and Bones, which was a ship game. Yeah, so this is an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. You can play as Naoe, a shinobi, or Yasuke, who's a big old brawler dude. Naoe is not historical in nature. Yasuke is. Probably one of the things I like about the dual protagonist thing is they seem pretty committed to making both their play styles quite different. Naoe is stealth, Yasuke is fighting, but also in terms of the Assassin's Creed-ness of it, Naoe seems to really be what Assassin's Creed is. You got improved stealth mechanics, you can use the dark to hide, you got parkour, ninja tools, lots of very cool stuff. To be frank, this is a game that on paper sounds fricking sweet. The question, folks, isn't are all of these things cool sounding? Because the answer is yes, they are cool sounding. Assassin's Creed Shadows is kind of evidence that Ubisoft knows that Ghost of Tsushima out Assassin's Creeded them, and therein lies a little of the skepticism. Sure, all this stuff sounds great. Is the game going to be great? And on top of that, is it going to be great enough to make up for, Ubisoft? I won't hem-haw anymore about it. I want it to do good because I don't want to see failure. I like Assassin's Creed. I want Assassin's Creed to do well and be good, so my fingers are at least crossed. I have high hopes. I have slightly less high expectations, and I'm hoping that both are beaten outright when Assassin's Creed Shadows lands on PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and iPad OS March 20th. And number 2, we got Atomfall. That comes to us from Rebellion Developments, a single-player survival action game that gives us a 1960s alternate Britain. Happens in the aftermath of the Windscale nuclear disaster. It's all picturesque and Northern England-y, and at the same time, it's kind of Fallout-ish. Although it's not retro-futurism, it's retro-retroism with a little futurism. It's cool. It looks cool. It's kind of a game that I think is attempting to satisfy the same itch that the Fallout England mod is. It's also drawing a lot of inspiration from classic British sci-fi and folk horror. Honestly, looks really cool. Atomfall is landing on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC March 27th, and you can get it on Xbox Game Pass day 1. And finally, at number 1, we have Split Fiction, the latest co-op adventure from Hazelight Studios, the creators of It Takes Two. A narratively kind of weird game that really implements co-op extremely well. Split Fiction, it reminds me a little bit in premise, so I'm not sure that it's necessarily going to be an incredible narrative. I kind of don't care. These guys do this sort of co-op adventure stuff better than anybody else does. The premise of this one is that there's two writers trapped in a simulation of their own imaginations. They're trying to escape, and they have to collaborate by the fantasy writer dealing with sci-fi stuff, the sci-fi writer dealing with fantasy stuff. Not a terrible premise. Could be good. Again, that's not really why I'm playing a game from this studio. You're going to get unique mechanics and abilities in sequence slamming you over and over. That's kind of what you get out of these guys, and I think that's it's great to have more of it, honestly. They also have a nice thing going. It's called Friends Pass. If you have the game and you want a friend to play with you, they do not need to have even the same platform you have, but they definitely don't need to own the game. You can just share the game with them. That's online co-op, not just local, online as well. I like that. Split Fiction is gonna land on March 6th, 2025, and it's landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I do have some bonus games for you. We're not done yet. First up is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. It's finally making its way to Nintendo Switch on March 20th. It's an enhanced version of the Wii U cult classic with the updated visuals, some quality of life stuff, maybe a little new story content. Next, we have Everhood 2 dropping on PC and Switch March 4th. Basically a rhythm-based combat and surreal storytelling game. It's definitely a unique game, and you're getting more of that unique formula. Bleach Rebirth of Souls is landing for the anime fans out there. March 21st on PC, PS4, and 5, as well as the Xbox. It's a 3D arena fighter. It's basically based in iconic moments from Bleach. Very large character roster. MLB The Show 25 is landing on the 18th for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. You got improved AI, deeper franchise and career modes, as well as new animations, but honestly, is anybody going to get really that excited about new animations? If you're looking for some horror, you got Do No Harm coming on March 6th for the computer. You got psychological horror and medical drama, like Silent Hill crossed with House? Maybe. I don't know. That's probably not exactly what the formula is here, but Do No Harm is coming March 6th for PC. And finally, we got Chernobylite 2 Exclusion Zone, dropping you back in the old radiation-filled wasteland with some deeper survival mechanics, expanded horror elements, and what they're saying is a more unpredictable AI system. Chernobylite 2 is landing March 6th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. That pretty much wraps up all the biggest stuff that's landing in March 2025. Let us know which games you're most excited for in the comments, and argue about the other ones. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter and book me on Cameo at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on GameRanks.